Hi, I'm Seamless, and this is the ninth 20K tutorial video. The videos in which I am doing a whole bunch of sound design requests because today, at some point in the last 24 hours at least, my channel reached 20,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is so cool. It's very cool. I think all of you are the coolest. And so to celebrate this, I'm taking sound design requests on a Reddit thread. The thread is in the description. If you want to make requests, request them on that thread. Not in the video, not on my Facebook, not my email, not my Facebook messages, not my SoundCloud, not my Twitter. On that Reddit thread. I'm aware that it's a bit limiting, but I'm trying to limit it a little bit. Anyway, this one is from OfficialAuspex, and it's about a virtual Riot lead, and it's pretty much a supersaw. It's just what it is. And I basically did two of them. I did one with Harmer and one with Massive. And the reason why I did it with Massive is because it was very straightforward, but also I think it's kind of cool that Massive has 16 voice unison, and that it sort of is just designed right off the bat to be a pretty okay supersaw. And I say that because typically when you do lots of unison and you have your phase set to center, you gotta you gotta mess with it a little bit. And I don't really know. The only phase options I've seen are the ones where you you say to restart via gate, and then you get everything on center phase, and that creates a lot of interesting sounds with 16 voice unison. But by default, that's not on, and then it kind of restarts. And it works out. I put a EQ on it because it actually had pretty. It's actually pretty harsh on the low frequencies. And then a reverb because there seemed to be one in the track. What else? So yeah, if you did turn on the restart via gate, you got the zero phase sort of problems. So I think it's kind of interesting that just by default, it seems to be set up to be the most evenly spread supersaw just already. It's like as if it's designed to do that, because normally 16 voices making the phase work set up kind of properly would be sort of a challenge. But Massive knows this apparently and decides to make it all work out. There's this centered and chord option. I'm not really sure what they do, but I'm not a Massive guy, so. That's that one. And then the one I made in Harmer. This one's a little bit more interesting just because whenever I do supersaws in Harmer, I like to utilize the fact that you can control the harmonic use and pitch over the whole spectrum. And what I've done here is I've done A and B, both with 9 voices and B with a slightly more pitch depth, which means that this is effectively 18 voices unison. And what I've done is I've zeroed out the fundamental tone, so that means that no matter what note I'm playing, even if the other harmonics are all being spread about pitch-wise and creating the blur, the layered sort of unison blur, the fundamental tone is going to be solid all the time. This might not necessarily be what you want in a supersaw sometimes, but most of the time, it's the sound that I like. And so it adds a little bit of extra sort of just special twinge, nice sort of sounds to it, which is something pretty much only Harmer can do. I added a tiny bit of distortion, a little bit of compression, and then the reverb in another channel. I didn't have to EQ this one because it just sounds like this just fine. And that's pretty much it. There's not a lot else to the sound. And I'm also not really a wizard of supersaws. I'm not so great at them. To my untrained ear, supersaw-wise, I kind of like the Massive one more, and I think it has to do with the 16 voices and also that it just seems to be, by default, designed to be the optimum spread, at least phase-wise. Pitch-wise, you can go pretty far. But that's pretty much what's up. And yeah, so I'll put both of these, I'll put this FLP up and you can download it. That's it. Moving on.